Hello there, everyone. So, you may be wondering why I am in a basement right now. And the reason is because the area where I usually film in is full of stuff. There's stuff everywhere because, yeah, all the stuff that was in my room, and there's a ton of stuff in my room, is now in there for the time being. So, I'm kind of stuck with that. So, for those of you who have not been watching the community tab, I will say you probably should watch the community tab. I post in there a lot. I give you guys a lot of updates in the community tab. The reason I haven't been posting for 2 straight weeks is because 1 week, I was volunteering at a local summer camp, and another week I was in Hocking Hills State Park, because that's like about 3 hours south of me. So that being said, this is going to be a different type of video. So every once in a while, I just want to make a video where I'm just kind of being chill and just talking about stuff in general, instead of going out finding someone on the internet who really made me angry and talking and just, yeah, like watch my normal videos if you haven't seen one of my videos before. My normal videos is I literally find people on the internet who did something that I don't like, and I talk about that. I talked about the bricks and minifigs situation. I talked about jerks and Profar doing steroids. I've talked about a lot of stuff like that. So, and then this video, what this video is going to be, is me talking about my experience, as I recently just finished middle school, my experience with middle school. This video is going to go into a little bit my very, 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 very poor mental health. And it's not going to go into it too extensively, but there are going to be some things to make you guys understand some parts of my time in middle school. That some parts of my time in middle school that were just awful. I'm gonna have to talk about a little bit about my mental health, and I don't really feel like, and I have debated several times about whether I'm ready to fully open up on the channel about some of the things that I have been through that have had such a negative effect on my mental health. I don't think I'm going to go too in depth on that yet, but if you guys want to, because you deserve to know, because it has caused some issues with the channel in the past where I've just not felt up to doing anything because my mental health has been so horrible, and I spent like weeks away from the channel for absolutely no reason. There was like, so I may at some point make a video on that. I am not going to yet, but this is kind of going to be my experience with middle school and kind of what to expect for younger kids going into middle school. So I have to clarify one thing first. I imagine with young kids, because a lot of them are like this, and a lot of them get better, a lot of them get worse, a lot of them stay the same. With younger kids going into middle school, a lot of you are terrible people as at this point in your life, and a lot of you are decent human beings. If you are going into middle school as an a-hole, you are going to love middle school. If you are going into middle school as a decent human being, which from my experience, most of the people in my group of kids, my grade, did not, you are going to hate it. You're going to despise it with every cell in your body. So I'm going to start at the beginning, which is a different place for me than it was for most people, is my school district is set up really weird. So we have a separate building for kindergarten and technically preschool, but no one ever goes to preschool in that building. Then the elementary school is 1st through 4th grade. The middle school is 5th through 8th. And in no scenario should 5th graders ever be in middle school, but they were. And the high school is normal, 9 through 12. And they're moving it again because we're poor. So the primary school where the kindergartners went, that's being converted to an administration building. And then the kindergartners are moving up to the elementary. The 4th graders are moving up to the middle school where they absolutely should not be. And then the 8th graders are moving up to the high school where they absolutely should not be. And that's going to be next year. But, so I started middle school as a 5th grader, which in no other school district does anyone else do, rightfully so. And I went into middle school, and I was at this point in my life, and 4th grade was similar. As a 5th grader, this 5th grade was by far the worst year for me. And this phone keeps falling, so I keep having to adjust it. I'm not in an ideal setup, and I won't be for several weeks. But as a 5th grader in middle school, where I absolutely should not have been, there's a point in every kid's life, and for a lot of the kids my age, it was around 10, where they start like getting more aware of the world than the average small child is. And so they decide they know everything and think they're better than everybody else. And everyone kind of hit that point before I did. And I was getting like relentlessly, I still am heavily bullied. And I always was. But I started getting relentlessly bullied because I was also at a point in my life where I was really more emotional than the average person should be. And I'm still a very emotional person. But I could not even take a joke at that point in my life. I was not great with that. And I'm going to be honest, and I still think about this to this day and think like I was, for lack of a better word, I was retarded. And I'm not even joking. I cried at literally anything. So people use that as an excuse to relentlessly bully me, and the sheer amount of bullying. And the big thing that people did and still do that bothered me at that time is they call me gay all the time. And I have nothing against the gay community, but I am not gay. So that bothers me, as you can possibly imagine. So I was relentlessly bullied. And there's 3 things that have happened in my life that have pushed me so relentlessly close to, so like all over the edge that I almost killed myself. And obviously there have been points in my life where I've been like done as well, but there are 3 points in my life where if something wouldn't have happened, and I can't really explain what happened the 3rd time. The first time, I don't remember what it was that happened. And I'm not even going to go into the first thing that really pushed me over the edge in this video. But I remember exactly what stopped me this time. The relentless bullying, that was the 2nd thing. That, like, I almost killed myself. And 5th grade, too, it was like, I don't know why, but 5th grade math for me was the most stressful, impossible, difficult thing that you could possibly imagine. I don't understand these. Now I look back on 5th grade math and be like, this crap was incredibly easy. But at the time it was just like, oh my God, how do I do this? Somebody please help me. I didn't get it at all. It was just awful. And yeah, between that and the bullying, I was just stressed out and over the edge. And you get into 6th grade, and I'm going to make one thing straight before we get into the thing that really saved my life. There was this one teacher that I had for 3 periods at the beginning of the day. It was the ELA teacher. And this teacher, to this day, is the reason I have a hatred. And my 8th grade ELA teacher, we will get to her, but my 7th grade ELA teacher was awesome. My 6th grade ELA teacher is the reason that to this day I have a burning hatred for ELA teachers. Because, oh my God, this is the most, everything about the word Karen, this woman described it. She would start off class and you'd have to do this. She was such a jerk. And on top of that, it was the sheer amount of work she expected you to get done in a period. She would give you an essay at the beginning of class. You'd have 10 minutes, 15 minutes maximum to do this essay. And then she'd immediately give you another one. And everything was due by the end of the period. You never had homework in this class. It was I've never had a grade below a B- on a report card in my life. Because I work really, really hard in the school and I take it more seriously than most people do. Because, and I'll go into the reason why that is in that mental health video thing. Because that's the first thing. And I don't want to go there in this video. I don't really want to talk about that in this video. That's the first big mental health thing that almost pushed me over the edge of killing myself. The second thing was the bullying, and we'll get to what stopped me there later. And this ELA teacher was she was going to be the death of me. I swear to God. But for years, I talked with my one friend, and he said, I swear to God, I'm going to, when we get clapped out of the building, because that's what they do, they line you up in 8th grade, and they walk you to the gym for 8th grade recognition, and they have all the students in the hallways, and they're all clapping. When they clap us out of the building, I swear to God, when we walk past this teacher, I'm going to flip her off. And I'm do it, because she deserved it. And if I'm not mistaken, he did not actually go through with that, unfortunately. And I feel so bad for some kids because she moved up to 7th grade the following year, and some kids had to have her another year. Praise Jesus, I did not get her in 7th grade. That would have been such an awful year. I just realized how big of a bullet I dodged. Oh my God. It was, oh my God. This teacher was so annoying. But 6th grade, for the most part, was really it was, following up 5th grade, it was easy as frick. This was probably not my favorite year of middle school. I mean, they all sucked. But it was not my least bad year of middle school. But it was close. It's better than 5th grade, and it's better than another year that we will get to later. But it's not the least bad year. 5th grade was the worst year, and most people won't have to worry about 5th grade going into middle school. But I did, and it was awful. But the thing that happened in 6th grade, it happened halfway through, because it was in January, because that was because the effects of the bullying was it's still there to this day, but it was fresh in my mind from 4th and 5th grade, all that bullying that I went through. And I almost died, I will tell you. I don't really know So, it was like I was going to die if someone did not step in, because it was really, really, really still bothering me. And by that point, I had grown as enough of the person not to cry at literally every bad thing said about me, but it still bothered me. It still does bother me, because I am still a more emotional person than most people are. I don't cry at literally everything, because you shouldn't cry at literally everything. I actually don't cry around people that much at all, for that reason and for another reason that I will go into in another video if I eventually decide to. I don't really cry about in front of people at all much anymore, because my brain won't let me, because I'm literally scared of the results. I'm just so messed up in the head. But this is gonna sound so, for lack of a better word, retarded to so many people. But the thing that saved me in 6th grade, and it's gonna get more retarded to you guys as the video goes on. And for all I know, she's watching the video. She might be, she might not be. She recently told me that she did not, after recent events, unsubscribe from the channel. I'm not sure if I believe that. She might be watching these videos, she might not be. And there are some things I'm going to say later in this video that are going to make her very angry at me. And for the record, I do not care. But there was a girl I met in 5th grade who, in 6th grade, I managed to somehow, on some act of Jesus, get into a relationship with. And this girl saved my life. I can say what I want about recent events, but I cannot not be grateful that she saved my life. My relationship with this girl is basically what carried me to the end of 6th grade alive. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. And I don't know if he was being truthful or he was joking, but I know he liked her at some point. Then there was another one of my friends too that he told me that the exact day, because he was there, the exact day that I told her I had feelings for her, he was going to ask her out that day. And I felt so bad when I found out. I felt so bad for him. I felt like I had violated the bro code. I felt awful. But too late by that point. Really too late now. So, and then we get in this. That basically carried me through the end of 6th grade. And really, 6th grade is not that hard. 6th grade is going to be fine for anyone who's watching this video who's about to go into middle school. 6th grade, you're going to hate it because it's middle school, but it's fine. It's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Especially if you don't have the mental health issues that I have. But 7th grade is the year. 7th grade is the year that everyone says is the worst year of your life. And that's what every adult says. Let me tell you why 7th grade is the least bad year of middle school and the most overly hated year of your life. Because it used to be the worst year of your life, but now it's not. Because here's the thing. The teachers, 7th grade teachers, are so sick of dealing with the obnoxious 7th graders that are in the worst year of their life that they do not care anymore. And it makes 7th grade so incredibly freaking easy that you can just, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. You can just slide right through 7th grade. Nothing will happen. Nobody will ever care. No one cares about, it's like the most forgettable year. You just scoot right through it and nothing happens. because the teachers don't care, because they don't want to deal with you and you don't want to deal with them. So you're literally just surviving 7th grade. Like, it was like, and surviving middle school, in the defense of the people who say it's the worst year of your life, as someone with a lot of mental health issues, it is not easy. When I'm talking about how decent human beings will hate middle school, yeah, I'm looking at you kids. Some of you may actually, I'm not even joking, so I shouldn't say this in a joking way, but some of you may die. Like, it's, like, the urge to commit suicide just gets bigger. Like, it's awful. Like, I say those words lighter than I should, but, like, I really mean that. There were multiple points in middle school. Like, there were 3 major points, like I said before, there were 3 major points in my life where I almost killed myself. And believe me when I say this, 2 of them, one of them I've already been over, 2 of them were in middle school. And I'm going to get to the other one now. Now that we've glided through 7th grade in 2 minutes because nothing happens, I'm going to go into 8th grade. And before I get to the thing that really, and this isn't going to bother the rest of you in 7th and 8th grade. 8th grade is really, it's hard. A lot of the work, it's hard. And that's going to be the biggest thing. And the people in 8th grade were at like I feel like at the biggest point of their a-holery. But like this is where the most bullying is going to occur. But I feel like it doesn't matter anymore because for me it didn't matter anymore because I'd gotten so used to it that I could just ignore it and I'd feel comfortable and it wouldn't bother me as much. But you guys are going to face some serious bullying in 8th grade. That's the year I just finished. And the other thing is the work in 8th grade is really, really hard. It's hard. This was not an easy year for me to get through this previous school year that we just got out of a month ago. And I'm going to talk, before I get into the big thing that you guys will not have to experience that I did, was my ELA teacher was such, and she wasn't as bad as the 6th grade one, but she was such a Karen this year. She was, oh my God, I cannot even go into it. She's such a Karen. She would she just yells at people for no reason. She hates certain people for no reason. She just walks into the classroom. She walked into the classroom on the first day of school, and you didn't know it until class started. But she was already picking and choosing the students she loved and the students she hated, and it did not change for the rest of the school year. And the students she loved were all the a-hole kids. All the good kids were the ones that she hated. She hated me the most. I won't say she probably didn't hate me the most by the end of the year because of something one of my friends did, but she hated me she didn't do this to other kids who made the same mistake. She freaking, with me, she literally marked one of my assignments as missing because they didn't put my last name on the paper. I am the only kid in the entire grade named Chris. Because you don't have any, you know it's me, but you don't have any other students with the same name as me. And that's just one of the things she did. I remember there was an essay towards the end of the year that we had to do that she took points off for things I did or did not do. And I'm like, well, I'll look through it. Oh, wait. I actually did what she's asking me. And she just took a point off because she felt like it. There was, this one assignment, that it said I was missing an entire paragraph when I was not. And it was one thing that my friend did at the end of the year to her, and this is karma at its finest. My one friend gave my other friend a bottle of super glue. And this was after the big other major thing that I will talk about in a second. Because I'm not going to go very in depth on it, but I am going to talk about it a little bit. Just a little bit. And I know it's going to seem like a lot, but like compared to like the whole story, it's really just a little bit. He gave him the super glue. I don't know if he told him to do it or if the other guy just did it anyway. But he took that super glue and he frickin' sprayed that glue all over her chair. And she sat in it. She got stuck to that chair. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And when she came over and asked if he did it, and he got suspended for it, obviously. It would have been so hard. It would have been so easy to just lie and get away with it. So, the guy, he cracked under zero pressure. He's just like, it was me. I can't. I can't with this story. I forgot how funny it was until I tried to tell it to a camera. So now that I've gotten out of that story, and that was karma at its finest. So we did defeat the ELA teacher. We defeated the ELA teacher this year. We were not lucky enough to defeat the Satan spawn ELA teacher in 6th grade, but we did defeat the slightly less annoying one in 8th grade. And now I'm gonna get into the big thing. And this is where the girl I mentioned earlier, if she's watching this video, gets very, very angry at me. But I can say what I want, so I don't care. And I'm telling the truth of this story from what I have seen, what I believe to be the truth. So the second half of 8th grade, I was already pushed to the edge because I was very, very stressed out the second half of 8th grade. I don't know why, I just was. And I was a mess. And in March, after two years and 2 months of a middle school relationship, which is absurdly long for a middle school relationship, my girlfriend from 6th grade, so this channel existed at that point in time, she broke up with me. This was in the early days of the channel's existence. This was 3 months ago. So we're still in the early days of the channel's existence, but like even in terms of like now. I think I'm just gonna start at the beginning. She broke up with me, and that day I was an absolute wreck. I was not talking much at all. I was not laughing at things I would normally laugh at. And yeah. People were routinely coming up to me and saying, dude, what the heck is going on? They were very, very confused because I was awful. I came home that day and I created a group chat with 6 guys. And these 6 guys, I believe to be brothers to me. They're They're like brothers to me. They're like family. These are like my 6 best friends in the whole world. And I don't know who she told before that. 2 of them already knew because they did find out from her. But they were in the group chat anyway because they deserved to be, in my mind. 2 of those guys, one of which was one of the ones who already knew, one of which had no idea. 2 of those guys were the 2 guys from the Superglue story. Those 6 guys were the first people to find out from me. I've told my sister, but I don't think she fully understands what it means. My mother found out from another parent because I was not ready to tell her, so I didn't. And someone else told their parent, who told my mother. And I was actually going to tell her in a few days when she found out. But I was not ready. Because I was still going through heck. And this is the 3rd thing that almost killed me. And I'm still not sure why I decided not to kill myself. I have told people multiple reasons before. I've told people multiple reasons. And I've believed them for a while myself. And as time has gone on, I've slowly found, no, that's not it. And I don't think I'll ever know why I stayed alive. But you guys were very close to me just disappearing out of thin air. Like, you guys will never understand how close you were to losing me randomly. And so those... and I thought it was my fault. Because she told me that in the note that she gave me, she said 3 things that stuck out to me. One of which I, in my brain, took as it being my fault. She told me I felt like a friend now. That was what made me think it was my fault. And then the other 2 things she said, which I found out later were not true, was that she didn't want to be in a middle school relationship, which is a valid complaint. I don't think a lot of middle school relationships are real. Ours was real to me. I don't know how she felt, but to me it was real. But maybe I'm just stupid. I probably am. She told me that, and our school also, because they're poor, they shut down open enrollment, and she was open enrolled, and she didn't want to do long distance. That was what she told me. I'm rounding, because I don't know if it was a little bit more or a little bit less. I'm rounding to a week later. 1 week later, one of the 6 guys from that group chat came to me. And he said basically something along the lines of, there's something you should know. I talked to your ex, and she apparently has a crush now. And the guy she liked was another one of the other 6 guys. So I was very obviously not happy. I can't really describe how I initially felt anymore because I don't really like going back to that moment. I don't even know what exactly he said to me. And I don't even know why exactly she went to him. Why are you stomping up there? I don't know exactly what she said to him. I don't know what she said to him or why she came to him. I don't at all. But she did. And the next thing I said at some point, I don't even know when. Well, does he know? And he said, yes, I told him. So she actually does not know that she doesn't know that I knew. She does. if she's watching this video, this is the first that she's finding out that I knew. This is the first that she's finding out that the guy knew. And I said, well, she lied to me. It's not what she said to me. So, yeah, that was that. I was very, I don't even know how to describe it. I was very something, to say the least. And I came to this guy, the guy that she liked. I went to him that same day, mere hours after I found out. And I said, look, dude, I don't have an issue with you. Heck, if you like her, ask her. I don't care. So that's what I said to him. I did not have a problem with it at all. Because he's one of my best friends. He's like a brother to me. And also, I did not want there to be a big fight with people taking sides. When I tell you that there was almost a big fight with people taking sides, I mean it. And I get over things really slow, so I was already going to get over it slowly. But it gets a lot harder when you're in the situation where, oh, holy crap. I cannot tell you how many people were instantly, when they found out, how many of those 6 guys, and not just them, a couple other people too, how many of those 6 guys, because it was like a lot of them, a lot of those 6 guys, there were several of them. I can't say how many. Some of them I'm not sure how they feel, some of them are kind of indifferent, but at least half of them, I'd say, at least 2, I'll say at least 2, when they found this out, were absolutely livid. And I'm like, it would have been harder for me to get over it already. I would have taken at least a month. But people were, if I hadn't said anything to them, they would have been on this kid's rear end. I was like, calm. We're not starting a big fight with this kid. He didn't do anything wrong. These people hated this kid. They hated, because in their eyes, he had betrayed me in some like big way. They hated him. It was the one kid at first, and then it was another, because a month later she got in a relationship with this kid, and that because he got, I don't know if it was him that asked her or her that asked him, but this guy, that was what set the other kid that I know was mad about it off. That was what set him off. He was livid. He was so mad. He lost all his respect for the other kid instantly. And then there's another kid who I suspect is also very mad at him. And everyone else, I think they're iffy. That I know of, the remaining guys are kind of iffy about it. I don't think anyone is taking the same stance that I am as, let's just not kill each other, which is my stance. I don't think anyone is taking that stance. I think there are 2 guys where I'm really not sure whether I think one of them is in the same position that I am. He's saying, let's just not kill each other. There's another guy who I don't even know what the heck his opinion is. There's one guy that I suspect is angry. And then there's 2 guys that I know because they've told me are angry. And the one guy, this is my best friend in the whole world. He said that he believes, and I don't believe this is because I don't believe that they were talking at all before we broke up in like a romantic way. And I don't believe that because this guy told me that they weren't, and I trust him. But he says that she cheated on you. I don't buy that. But what I do believe, and I believe this with a burning passion. I shouldn't say that. I believe this. I'm unwavering on this. I stand firm in my belief of this. If you, when you have decided, like a week into being broken up with someone, that you already like someone else, you cannot convince me that you weren't thinking about that person, you didn't like that person while you were dating the other person. And I'm not gonna, I do not, I believe that there's no way that she that fast decided I like this other guy. I think, because that is my belief, because it was less, if I'm remembering right, it was less than a week, and I know it was not 2 weeks that she decided that she had a new guy. And I'm like, if you're deciding that fast, you didn't decide it then. You decided it before the relationship even ended. And I have respect. I don't have respect for that, but I have respect for the fact that she waited, that she broke up with me first before getting with him. A lot of girls wouldn't do that, and that is, without question, cheating. That's evil. I have no respect for a cheater in, like, really any situation. And someone is spamming the group chat right now, and I keep getting notifications. It's one of the 6 guys, actually. I know I've had a lot of, like, silence. Points where I've just gone silent. Just bear with me. I know it's a 42-minute long video. And I just, that made it hard that she did not tell me the truth. It made it hard that people were trying to take sides when I didn't want a fight to happen. And what also hurt me was that she, the last couple months of the school year, was a colossal a-hole to me, to the point where I was literally avoiding her. Which is funny because she said she wanted to stay friends. She was an a-hole in every way. She was doing the same, like, bullying, calling me gay. And she did several things that she said while we were dating that she believed were wrong. Which is funny because I also said that I believed those things were wrong. Which leads me to believe that she may or may not have said those things just for me. Which I really don't like when people do that just to impress their partner. They say they believe a certain thing that they don't. I can't prove that. Maybe her beliefs changed. I don't know. But that was odd to me. And the big thing that was also really stressing, because I was really stressed out leading up to the end of our relationship, and part of that comes from the fact that my serious mental health issues that I had, she was telling me not to talk about them because it stressed her out, which I thought was funny because she has mental health issues that stressed me out when she talked about it too. That was part of what was stressing me out. And she still expected me to hear her talk about it, and I did because I cared. So that just tells me that she didn't really care. So there were a lot of things piling up that made it hard for me to get over it very fast. And she got with him after a month. And I was about to die. Yeah, I had 2 weeks. With 2 weeks left of the school year, I was home alone. I stood on my roof, and I climbed through a window. I was standing on my roof, and I was gonna jump off. And my mother doesn't even know this happened. And I thought to myself, I have 2 weeks left. If I can make it to the summer, I can get actually legitimate time, leaving out all of the people who are making this into like a big right or wrong fight. I can just leave out her messing with me. I can leave out all of this. I can leave out the other guy. I can leave out I can leave out the fact that she lied about why she ended the relationship. I can leave all of this out. And I can just take some time to myself, and I can think on my own. I can just think on my own, and I can get over it. And here we are, almost to the end of June, and I think there's one more thing I've got to do. There's one more thing I've definitely got to do. That was what convinced me in that moment not to kill myself. I don't know why I didn't kill myself before that, because I almost did. I don't know. I don't even know if it was that, really. I do know, with my Christianity and my faith in Jesus, I have grown in my faith in recent months, so maybe it's that. But something saved me. And here we are at the end of June. There's one more thing I think I've got to do. And that's going to make her really angry as well when it happens. But I will feel bad down the line if I don't do it. And I have not told you guys anywhere close to the full story, but I've told you guys all you need to know. And I'll talk about this more when I make that video a couple years down the line, talking about my mental health collapsing on me over the years. But this whole situation kind of was like part of it. And so she, I think I'm pretty much over. There's one more thing I've got to do, as I've said, but I think I'm pretty much over it now. But that kind of destroyed my second half of 8th grade. So I thought it was worth mentioning in the video. And that is about half of the video. Half of the 50-minute video was about that. But 8th grade overall, it's hard work, but if you don't go anything remotely similar to what I went through, you should be fine. But besides 5th grade, it is the worst year. Because you're going to go through a lot of bullying. There's just no way around that. I recognize that my ex might be watching this video. And if you are watching this video, I know you have a problem with some of the things that I have said. And if you do have a problem with some of the things that I have said, I recognize that you are going to text me. And she has actually texted me before. She came at me for not being over it yet at the beginning of this month, which I don't see how that's her concern. But she did come at me for that. And she also said, talking about her boyfriend, and I acted like it was this that was ticking me off, because like she said, I waited a month, and I acted like I thought that was too long, because like that was not long enough. Which I actually do think it's long enough after a month if you get with somebody, if you find somebody. But she liked him after a week, and that is not long enough. So, like, I didn't want to bring up that I knew that she liked him. I didn't want to bring that up. But I did want to push the narrative that I don't think she waited long enough. And even if I'm pushing the narrative that I don't think a month is long enough, which I do think it's long enough, whatever. She's lied to me before, so why not? But if you have a problem with anything I said, which I know you do, then you can text me, come at me, I do not care. When you text me, I will not care. And just because I know I've done this before and it's annoyed you, but hey, you do it to me. Give a big long text with everything you have to say all at once. I will read it and I will not care. I've sent you things like that before where I've had to say a lot of things at once, and I've sent you a big long text with everything I've had to say. So why don't you do it to me? I will not care. I will read it and I will go, what the heck, I said what I said. I do not care. I have told the truth from my perspective of the situation. This is what I believe to be the truth. If you think that I have lied in any way, tell me. I will not care. But her out of the way. That's that story. That's my whole experience with middle school and how awful it was. So I just wanted to make a different kind of video for once. And maybe I'll make some different kind of videos again sometime. Maybe some that'll be more, hopefully some that will be more positive in the future. And hopefully some I will not have to spend half the video talking about something that, honestly, it's not you guys' weight to carry, but you guys deserve to know, because this is the big thing that cost me that, I had weeks where I didn't upload a video. It was that. This was the big thing. That was because I was down for a couple months. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. And this video, I'm gonna be leaving until Sunday. In I imagine not much more than an hour, not much less than an hour. And this video, since it's an hour long, might not be uploaded in that time. And if the weird glitch that turns comments off automatically, so I have to go in and turn them back on, if that happens with this video, know that I will not be able to fix it until Sunday. I am sorry, because this video might not be uploaded when I leave. Actually, it probably will not be uploaded when I leave. But I'm hoping it will be out by the end of today, and it will probably be out by the end of Saturday as well. If it's not, I apologize. I recorded this on Friday, but it's an hour-long video. That does take time to upload. So, that being said, it might not be out on time. It might be out on time. I don't know. Hopefully it will. That's all I've got for today's video, so I'll see you in the next one, which will hopefully be... That'll be a more normal video, and maybe I'll make another one of these, not normal videos again, and maybe it'll be a little bit more of a lighthearted one, but that's this video for now. That's the end of this video. This is the last one of these for now, but I will probably make another one down the line. So that's all I've got to say, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.